As I'm kind of doing my job and talking with other agents that sell a lot of homes in the area to kind of see what they're feeling and seeing in the market, the one word that kind of all of us are using to describe what we're seeing in the real estate market right now is unpredictable. It's a little hard to predict what's going to come, whether that listing of ours is going to get multiple offers and all of the love from the buyers, or if it's going to sit and we kind of are confused why, because it's a great listing and we think it's priced well, et cetera, et cetera. But really, the data kind of supports this in a way. The data is showing us that there is more pressure on sellers than there has been in a very long time. Here's what it looks like by the numbers. So in April, because we're looking at April stats essentially, there was 8.7% more listings or more inventory in April than there was in March of this year. And when you compare it to last April, 2024, we're up 11.5% in inventory. Our months of supply, which is like a really great indicator of kind of what it feels like in the market, is up, but it's still a seller's market. We're at 3.4. A lot of experts say it's a balanced market at 6. I think it feels like a balanced market at 4. So we're not there. We're still in a seller's market by all signs. However, during the pandemic, and especially later into the pandemic, 2021, 2022, we at times were at like 10 days, 2 weeks. So that feels very different than 3.4. Still favors the sellers, but there's not nearly as much as much favorable things for sellers than there were then. We are up for days on market. We're up 8 days compared to last year. So our this is median days on market for all of Atlanta Metro is at 26 days, which again, still under a month, but it's not a week. It's more than that. And especially 8 days longer than last year is fairly significant. On average, sellers are receiving 97.9% of their original list price, which is not bad, but it is down 1.3% compared to last year. So again, and that's significant. Just above 2% of kind of your list price under is a good amount of negotiating. And also what is up are listings that fail, that just never sell, and how much concessions are being given is going up. And price reductions are way more frequent than they used to be. Overall, even though we're experiencing all this pressure, or the sellers are receiving all this pressure, our median sales price for Atlanta Metro is still climbing. So that's great news. Our values aren't down, but they're not up as much as kind of one would hope. You kind of hope for like 4% year over year. Right now, year over year, we're at 1.3%. So it's still in the positive, but not what you would kind of maybe hope for it to be. And that means that the median sales price for Atlanta Metro is $469,000. So overall, it's kind of a harder to predict market, but I think we're still feeling that pressure for the sellers. What that means is you really have to nail it on both condition and like your presentation of your house, your marketing strategy, which really includes your pricing strategy. And then for buyers, the really good news is there's a lot more opportunity with longer days on market and more room to negotiate. You really can find a deal if you're patient and have, a winning strategy. So I'm happy to help and dive into these numbers more anytime.